Hey gorgeous, welcome to Happy Go Fabulous. I am so thrilled that you're here. This is our space where we get real about life, the good, the messy and all the juicy bits in between. Real talk, real life and a whole lot of delicious living. But I must warn you, listening may cause unexpected outbreaks of fabulousness and real life magic. Hi, I'm Catherine and I am so incredibly passionate about helping inspired, motivated, impact-driven, freedom-seeking people just like you to do the deep inner work to create those beautiful outer wonders in life. It's all about revolutionising your relationship with yourself, where you fall madly, deeply in love with who you are and create a life so fabulous you can't wait to jump out of bed every morning to live it. Ready? Because ordinary living is so last season. Life's waiting and it's time to make it fabulous. Let's shimmy on in. I am so looking forward to this episode today with my special guest, Melissa Ohana. I met Melissa in Canberra and it feels like it was forever ago. I think it was probably less than 2 years ago at a business event. And we just instantly clicked. And you know when you meet people that you feel like you know them forever? And Melissa was one of those people. And it was before we made the move here to our sea change. And I wanted to go, I went and had a tarot reading with Melissa and to get some insight about the move and also to just get some guidance around my own intuitive guidance as well. And I'm not surprised that we connected instantly because it's like we're soul sisters. I really feel that we're like soul sisters. Melissa helps women to reconnect with who they are, to really get underneath all the layers, the conditioning, the old stories and all the stuff that isn't theirs and doesn't belong, and blends really deep healing work with intuitive tools, which is super, super exciting, and brings this beautiful mix of a grounded psychology with spiritual wisdom to everything that she does. Her work is all about emotional freedom. It's about helping people to come back to who they are and self-love. So welcome. I can't wait to chat with you. How are you, Mel?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really good. I just wanted to add to your little quip about how we sort of connected. Yeah. I remember it was like I saw you across the room, right? And I was like, oh, I need to talk to that woman. And it was the whole evening I kept going, oh, can I talk to her now? And it was just this, it was like if someone was trying to pick up on someone, And I loved it. And finally we got the opportunity. I was like, yes, fantastic. And yeah, it was totally like that.
Was it? Because it feels like forever, but I don't think it was.
I feel like it was less. It was less than a year for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. It might have been 9-10 months ago, something like that.
Might have just been a little bit before we moved because we've been here 10 months.
Yes.
So, oh, wow.
Yeah, maybe.
Gosh, so. It feels like, it just feels like a forever.
Yeah.
And when I say that Soul Sisters, there's so many parallels.
Yeah.
And very coolness.
It's cool. The easiness and the flow. And that's the relationships I love. And to be honest, I feel like actually I have a hard time finding these connections. And so I was just really, it's just so nice. And it just makes your nervous system, that's one of my buzzwords of the world and for me, but it just makes your nervous system go, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like.
Oh, I love that. Same. And I was talking with a girlfriend the other day just about our energies. And I think I've probably got a handful of close, this kind of friendship that just that ease that can talk just about anything. It's an unsaid connection is what I find. It's
and I want to to make women feel better about this, right? It's not, so we don't talk all the time, but that's a fallacy of what women think. I think friendships and connections are supposed to be like. If you have a really good friend and a beautiful connection, you're supposed to foster it, live in it, breathe it. And it can be that if you want it to be, but also it's so important to recognize that there's something just really beautiful knowing that that person is there.
Yes. I love that so much. And you're exactly right because we've been in contact, online, in person. I'm not in Canberra anymore, but there is that deeper level, but it doesn't equate to volume of how much we contact. And for me, that's a really important element, is to be able to be accepted and to just pick up where we are. And we even started talking offline, like before we pressed record, about our hair. Like, I was like, oh, I'm loving your hair. Like, for those of you that are listening, Mel's got a beautiful asymmetric, is it a bob? Like,
so like the left side is basically shaved.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like a asymmetric.
And the right side is dark, curly. It's, chin length.
Yeah.
And we were talking about going grey and the process of it. I shaved my head when I went grey. When I go through dramatic changes, I get a haircut. And so I really wanted to go grey. I was sick of dyeing my hair, and it was really metaphorically about coming back to the naturalness of who I am.
Yeah.
And I wanted to experiment, and by shaving it, and I didn't shave it down to bald. I think it was a number 1 or a 2. And it was about really stripping back, Mel, just all the stuff. So metaphorically getting rid of it. And hair, when we talk about psychosomatic, is about memories and things that we cling on to and things. That was about just really going back to nature or natural.
Yes.
And now I've made this big shift, big lifestyle transition. I can't cut my hair any shorter, so now I'm growing it out and I'm experimenting with this. And we were talking a little bit, I'll get you to share like why you shaved your left side, but I'm growing mine out and it's really soft. My hair, I just can't, like if you see me doing this, it's because, oh my God, my hair is just so soft and fine, but it's also, I'm kind of experimenting with stepping more into that feminine energy, and my hair's kind of representing that, which I think is cool.
Yes.
So what was yours?
I relate to so much. Yeah. So, I mean, my part naturally is heavy on the right side, but I think that's still all connected to the feminine masculine. Mm-hmm. So the times I've done this twice now where I've just shaved off the left side of my head. The first time I did it was after my mother died, and your left is your feminine.
Yes.
And I think there was just something about my mother dying that just almost I had to rebirth my feminine.
Yeah.
So it was like I shaved off this side because that part of me was gone, and I had to, not that part of me was gone, but it was through the mother lens that we often connect our femininity. And after my mother died, it was almost like this freedom that I got to reinvent my femininity through my lens now that I didn't have this woman watching over me. So that felt huge for me. And then I did that for a little bit, and then it was COVID, and I thought, oh, it's a good time to grow it out because no one will see me. It gets real funky. And I couldn't go to the hairdresser anyways, right? Because it takes maintenance. And then it was all about, for me as well, I got sick of dyeing my hair, but I also feel like a hypocrite because I talk so much about being natural. Natural in your body. That's a big message of mine. Natural in your body. Let your body be whatever it is. Don't punish it. Don't deprive it. Don't hate it. Don't beat it up. Don't just love your body. And it's a huge message of mine. And love your body comes along with a message of be who you are. And a lot of the work, as you said, I'm doing is, but who are you underneath all of that? Who are you? And by dyeing my hair, I was like, well, that's not really very in line, isn't it? Actually, I'm just going to go gray. So for me, it's really painful. I think when you've got that line on the top of your head and it's so hard to get through that stage. And so for me, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to shave the left side again because I did step into something big. I had finished doing my holistic wellness taster events, which were this really beautiful community of people to share their stories and their trades and their, what they're passionate about in helping people in this world about. So all natural, right? So I'd done 2 of those that year, and I was like, wow, that was huge. I think I'm done with that. And I'm stepping back into doing things not for myself necessarily. Yes, for myself, but also working with people again closely. Instead of hosting these big events, I was like, I'm going back to the one-on-one work. So it was this transition again. I was like, I'm going gray. I'm done with hosting these events for now. I mean, who knows? The future is fluid. But for now, it feels like I'm starting over. And so, yeah. And so there we go, reinventing and touching back in with my feminine, my intuitive side, my holding space, all of that feminine, beautiful qualities again, being rebirthed.
Oh, I love that. And when I look, because you have very strong features, and so shave the left side, which is the going grey. There is still dark in your right side. There's grey underneath, but it's darker on the right-hand side. And I did a podcast on this a couple of episodes ago about the secret language of your body. So the right side is our masculine energy. So you have a lot of strength still in your masculine. And it's about, when you say about coming back, stripping it back to doing the one-on-ones with, things are shifting. Yeah. I would say there's still strength and energy about making that happen and how you're showing up in the external world.
Yeah.
And combining it with your intuitive, divine feminine. That's a beautiful, we need to, I believe we need to operate in both. And I've been very much in my masculine for many, 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 many years. Like after Mum died, I just got on with life. I was doubting. I was on the inside, turmoil, but became very, very capable. And I think that was a lot of my masculine energy just kicking in and showing the external world that, I'm doing fine, but inside this complete friggin' mess. And it's been, the number of birthdays I've had has really helped with, in a lot of the healing around that. But it's about that self-discovery. And I know that you are very much around self-discovery and understanding and knowing, and then how we navigate through it. Like our paths, what you're sharing and what I'm sharing doesn't mean that that's what will happen for others. But I think by sharing our experiences, others might go, I wonder what that, reflecting on my own life.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but the growing of my hair is a very powerful metaphor. And it's in a not too bad state at the moment, but growing out from a pixie cut into a bob has been a freaking nightmare. And just all that really uncomfortableness of just the messy middle. When we talk about the messy middle, I have absolutely been in, and I still feel I'm going through that. So my hair is a really powerful metaphor for my life, for those that are watching on. So when you kind of see me doing far out, headbands and that messy middle, you would work a lot with women around that, wouldn't you?
It's all about the messy middle. And for me, I have this strength in being able to make sense for women out of this chaotic, messy middle. And that's where the power lies. You're shining light on it and going, well, actually, this can mean this or this can mean that. What does it mean to you? But this is actually the road out of that, and actually clearing that messiness up for women and helping them.
Yeah. Do you know what I've referred to messy middle then. When I'm sitting with it, I don't often refer to messy middle, because to me it's just, it feels a bit uncomfortable and it can feel a bit messy, but it's really part of it. It's part of it.
You have to have it, because science says, everyone says, if you don't have that uncomfortable, you'll have no motivation to change.
Yeah. And for me, I was really tempted many, many, many times just to go, fuck it, I'm going back to cutting it short because this is too awkward, it's too uncomfortable. And I see a lot of women that I work with that are just starting to make some changes and they go, it's too uncomfortable, I'm going to go back. Do you find that with the women that you work with?
Well, can I just I feel like this, okay, ready? I want to get underneath this, okay? This is what I do, the hidden secret world behind everything. Yeah. Okay, so why is it uncomfortable?
It feels... do you know what comes to my mind? It's not what I want it to be.
Yeah.
I like things to happen quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're familiar with human design. I'm a manifesting generator.
Oh, yeah.
And patience is not my strongest, but it's like,
and
it's not happening quick enough for me. It feels uncomfortable because it's not where I want it to be.
Yeah.
What do you pick up from that? Yeah.
So it's that space of needing to be something to feel that you're worthy or enough for yourself. So in that uncomfortable space, if you're not where you want to be, what's that message for you in that? If I'm not where I want to be, what does that say about me?
It's not okay to be where I am.
It's not okay. Yeah. So then you really is that point, that sort of invitation to sort of say, why do I need it to be what I need it to be? What does that put at ease within me? If that thing is where it is, where I need it to be, what does that satisfy?
Do you know what comes to me? It's interesting when you're saying that. I'm loving this, where this is going. Like when Mel and I got online, it was kind of like, let's just see where this conversation takes us. And that's exactly what's happening now. So loving that.
Yeah.
And the question when you said about not feeling comfortable where you're at can link to unworthiness. And I get part of that. When you said those words to me, it was kind of like, no, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah. And it was just, and it was kind of, do you know what came to mind? And this is I would say this is my masculine energy coming out, is if my hair grows quickly, I can get a new photo shoot done. And it's a very practical element because at the moment, my socials are all about me I look different. Yeah. And so there's something about a disconnect. Yes. And it's like, if I can get this happening, and if I don't want photos in that, I want them to look cool. I want them to look cool. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, it feels like, and I'm sure that there's a whole lot of other stuff in that as well.
Oh, for everybody. Yeah.
There will be a whole lot of other stuff. But it's like,
but then that's again, so I need to be there quickly because I need to get this done. That is basically not trusting then this space in between, the messy middle. Because what lessons are there for you while you're waiting to get that perfect photo shoot? What can you do within that space then? And that's the feminine. That's the intuitive, that's the feeling, that's the emotion. And it is uncomfortable because it doesn't make sense and it can be confusing and you don't know what to do with it. So if you just get through that quickly into the other end where you get that photo, then you don't actually have to be in that space of like, well, what do I do now? Because I can't do anything until I get that photo. So what do I do?
That's very much how I think as well.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Pick up on this one.
Yeah.
That I feel uncomfortable with my hair. People go, oh my God, I love your hair. And I'm going, what? Like, what the, like, serious? What are you seeing? And that's often what we see in ourselves and feel in ourselves. Sometimes we project that out, but others don't see what we see.
No.
Don't always see what we see.
And that takes us down like a whole new lens of like how you see yourself and how others see you, and how we have this natural resistance to seeing all the best inside of us because we're, prone to negative bias. And that all even starts in childhood, because ever since we're born, we're getting these messages that we're too much, or we're not enough, or we did that wrong, or stop crying, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. So like from a very young age, we are basically taught to self-reject. And this takes us into that space of that messy middle, because you might find yourself, well, I don't want to self-reject anymore. I want to listen to what I want. But what is all of that? How do I get through that? What's behind that? What are the causes? And oftentimes that internal battle is only an internal battle, and the people around you who don't have this negative bias see you as, I love your hair. You look so happy. Oh my God, I love your socials. Oh, you look like you're killing it. And, and then, but inside, because we're like kind of in that stage of maybe not wanting to self-reject anymore, internally we're having this war inside of us, and it's just really that messy middle. It's really uncomfortable.
Do you know what? I've got lots of different voices going on in my head at the moment, and part of them are like, oh, I really want to go and explore that. Why do I want my hair to grow quickly? but I'm not going to go deep into that now because I don't think that's great podcast with me just being silent, but I'm going to do that afterwards. And it is a lot about that self rejecting. What do we see? It's that conditioning within us, and how do we decondition? And, you know, on one part, the hair is an experiment, but this whole last year for me has been big, like a move. We've had a, you know, death in the family. We've had, you know, lots of things happening, and it has been very much about that retreating within. And I'll be really honest with you, that's been uncomfortable. Like, it's been beautiful. It has been absolutely beautiful. It has been, oh gosh, this whole connection with and reconnection with myself. But there's also this part about not even the busyness, but feeling I need to be doing something.
Yeah, of course.
And that's my own like discomfort of just how I am wired to be.
Because often through doing, though, is where we get our source of satisfaction, but not in that way. Almost like it makes us feel better about ourselves when we're doing, because we were taught that you need to perform to get a reward.
Yeah.
You need to help others to be valuable. So, you know, this having to do and be all the time is where we've actually learned to collect our self-esteem, essentially. So when you're not doing and you're not busy, are you of any value to anybody?
Yeah. And it's just a getting used to.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the women, I don't know about the women that you're attracting, I can imagine, but I attract a lot of women who are going through major transformation in life. Like, transformation is my gig. Like, I'm about helping people through, you know, growth is really about that, what I'm about. But it's like big things are happening and they can't see what they're wanting through it. And that's where it becomes messy as well. So I'm thinking that you probably have similar.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the work that I do, the center foundation of my work is heart healing.
Yes.
And that's the relational wounding of the heart. So, you know, when you were a child, what relationships sort of, I suppose, let you down? Yeah. You know, your mother wasn't who you wanted them to be or needed to be. Your father wasn't who they were and who, you know, you needed them to be or who you wanted them to be. And oftentimes these people hurt us, sometimes on purpose, sometimes not on purpose. Yeah. And so when we're speaking about these huge transitions and this really difficult journey we face getting on the other side of that, often it's just as easy as going in and clearing the wounding from the heart, because it's the root.
Yeah.
So that this is in my messaging. And yes, so definitely a lot of the women are like, I want to be here. I've tried so many things and it's just not hitting. There's something deeper in there and I can't touch it.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's so hidden inside of our hearts. It's something that we become so used to. It's the way that we operate. We don't even notice it anymore. It doesn't even feel like a wound. Yeah. It just feels like the way we are.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you get into the work that you do? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, let's see. How do it's always hard a little bit to know where to start with these things. I know. I'm just thinking, where do I start? So I was very drawn. I'll start up, down. So I was very drawn to heart healing modality. When I was introduced to it, it was like, this is everything. I totally get it. This is my jam. Mm-hmm. And when I started doing it, I was like, oh my gosh, have I been doing this forever? Like, it was just, everything was so right. And so I guess let's go backwards from there. So I suppose in heart healing, there's something really beautiful, because as a practitioner, part of the work is that I really see you, and not just that you want people to see. I really see you. And I hold that space with such tenderness and reverence and beauty. And I think for me, growing up, nobody held that space for me.
Yeah.
And that was a void for me. So not being seen, not being heard, not being validated, not being trusted, not being seen as something that was, valuable. It was always like, well, you're a kid, or I was kind of just left to do my own thing. Really. did not get a lot of attention paid to me. So
where did you grow up? Where are you from? I can detect it.
So Los Angeles. Yeah, just north of Los Angeles, California. Yeah. So, I mean, I won't go down to my whole broken family story. There's nothing.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll pass forward.
That's okay. Yeah. But basically, I was kind of left to my own devices. And in that space, I think it always often felt like floundering because we tend to, especially as children, we identify who we are through our relationships. So when those relationships are void or they're so stuck in their own trauma that they can't even see you, we tend to really struggle with the identity piece because there isn't somebody present enough there to allow you to kind of be like, well, who am I? So that was really missing for me. So I was very much floundering, very much in the identity space. Who am I? I don't know. I didn't have those relationships to feed that back to me, in a healthy way. And so finding that heart healing held somebody in their absolute most vulnerable, beautiful truth that they often feel ashamed to express. That to me just felt so important, and the work that we do is because it was an unmet need for me. And so I feel like if I'm just going to like strip it all back and get really simple, I think that's the simplest form of like why I'm drawn to this work, to be able to hold space for women to be like, oh my God, this is who I am and I am not ashamed. And you can see me and you can hear me and you can validate me. And I don't feel crazy or weird or silly or any of those things. And oh my God, I can just be me. And that is just this freedom. When you do that for somebody, it's like this power that you can see just lights them up from the inside out. And that's what I've done for myself. And so I love seeing that.
I love hearing people's stories. I love hearing their stories about just hearing their stories, but how that has led them to where they currently are. And, there's a lot of, even when we talk about hairdressers, they're helping us to feel better about ourselves. And, our modalities are same, different, but really about helping people to love and accept themselves and that freedom that comes from that authenticity piece. Yeah. I mean, that's what I've experienced, and it's about navigating the path to get there and helping others to do that as well.
Yeah.
And, not everybody is up for that journey, and that's cool. That's cool as well. That's
just not cool. That's right.
But really getting into that self-discovery and who am I under all of the other bits. And that was part of my hair shaving. Like, well, who am I at this stage of life? And now this hair growing is, who am I at this stage of life? Like, that's always, I've just been born with that growth.
Yes.
I think I was called to do that. And my experiences have, they've all intertwined. And I look back through my eyes now going, of course, that makes sense.
Of course, I had to go through that.
Of course, I had to go through that.
And when you look at your human design charts, right? Like it really, which is fully connected to astrology as well. But when you're looking at that too, you can sort of see, oh my God, I was 100% designed for this. This is my path.
This is my path.
And this is what I meant to do.
Because you use lots of really cool tools as well. You've got this toolkit of life. And that's I mean, I came and saw you with a tarot reading, and that was really powerful, very powerful. What else do you use?
Beautiful. So I do the energy work with Kundalini Reiki Master, but that is in the background of everything that I do.
Same.
Yeah. So when I'm speaking to people, when I'm doing readings, it's always going through. So that's always running in the background. And I read Akashic Records for 10 years. So the Akashic Records, if you don't know, it's basically this fifth dimensional space where there is a recording, an energetic imprint or recording of every life that you've ever lived. So I spent 10 years doing those readings for people, and I did end up getting bored of it, which is why I've transitioned. But essentially it was why are we reliving these patterns? Let's put some words to it, and let's actually pull a past life story that's come out to really almost see it from a different light and understand what you're doing now. And again, for me, it was what's behind. It's always what's behind.
I was going to say, that's similar to what you're doing now. It's just a different medium. I started doing the Akashic Records. Akashic Records. Love. Man.
Yeah, it's very cool. So I would say now this is my source, though, even though I sort of don't do these formal Akashic Record readings, it is my source of information.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing tarot now, I am connecting into the Akashic Records to pull through.
Yeah.
And then my toolkit then obviously went to, I always kind of felt like there was something that was untouched. And I felt this in my own healing journey, as well as other people's healing journeys. There's just some pain that's so hidden and so deep in there that just keeps you stuck in the same patterns no matter how much healing work you do. And that's when I found the heart healing. I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is actually how you get to that little tiny seed in there, which from everything sprouts. So these are my tools now. And I've actually just now moved into now the somatic practices. So I'm really huge as now the body for me now is the lens to everything. The body is the gateway to enter our personal development journeys.
The connection just went a little bit fuzzy when you said going into what practices?
So embodiment now, somatic practices. So embodiment. So now I see that the body now is the gateway to true and everlasting change.
Yeah. How do you use that? Because I, with that psychosomatic therapy, same thing about the mind-body connection and the body telling us a story. How do you... tell me more about that from your perspective.
Yeah. So my little model is actually heart, mind, body.
Yeah.
Because before I even felt safe enough to explore my body, I had to heal the wounds in my heart.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So heart was first, and which of course communicates directly to your mind.
Yes.
And of course your mind navigates everything, your nervous system, the way you move. Yeah. But what I found for me, if you just stay in that heart and the mind, you don't access the full power and the full wholeness. Yeah. So what I started doing then was 5 rhythms dance therapy.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
This is my life changing. This is how it all dropped in. Yeah. So in the 5 rhythms dance therapy, the concept is really about allowing your body to move intuitively, to be brave enough and vulnerable enough to just move your body the way that the music invites you to, and to not think about how you look. Yes. Nothing, like all of that has to go away. And the more vulnerably you step into this creative space of moving your body, you feel so powerful, because in that you're actually shedding all of the masks.
Yeah.
Because you're just moving your body. Mm-hmm. And I have no doubt that I look like an absolute weirdo, but it feels amazing. Mm-hmm. And so moving the body then started this journey of me of like, oh my God, my body is so powerful. Why do I hate my body so much? Yeah. And then that came through this toxic body culture. And I'm in a larger body for those of you who are not watching. And I've been in a larger body all of my life. And it is one of the most painful things to have to go through, being a woman in a larger body in a world that loves thin people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that opened this whole thing of like, oh my gosh, why are women like me? You don't even have to be in a larger body to have body issues. My gosh, that's what I've learned. You can have any body, any shape of body. It can be the most beautiful body, and the world still tells you that it's not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then that opened up this whole exploration of, oh my gosh, why is the world so obsessed with thin bodies? And I feel like there's a lot of masquerading going on. Let's be healthy, but really it's a fear of being fat.
Yeah.
You know, that's really the root of a lot of it. Of course, there's some people that want to be healthy, and oftentimes it's a journey that's, combined. But this fear of being fat is absolutely runs the world. Mm-hmm. So it's just this beautiful journey. And so now I was just coming into this space where like, oh my God, your body is absolutely freaking amazing. And just exploring that and then moving it and the dance and just feeling so sensual and powerful in the dance, and then bringing them back up again into how that drops back into your mind again, how you move your body and feel about your body while you're in the dance. And then that reprograms your nervous system, and then your thoughts about yourself and the world now have this beautiful new perspective to them that's much more love focused than hate focused. And so this is a journey: heart, mind, body, heart, mind, body, heart, mind, body. This is just kind of, this is the work I'm doing now.
Oh, I love that. I really love that. What was coming to mind when you were saying that, similar journey, and I had Emma Walkinshaw on as a guest a couple of weeks ago, and she's a body confidence coach, and talking about that same thing, about the obsession with, thin bodies, and that, like you said, that fear of being fat. And I don't think a lot of people kind of admit that or want to admit that, but I think that is part of it. And it's the not loving of self. And there was when I go for healings, it's energy healing, energy clearing, and there was one that I had that was sound. So sound is hugely, you're talking about movement, and the sound and the vibration is where I'm being really drawn to. But I had a sound healing, but it was with biomagnetic therapy as well. So there was magnets on the body, so intuitively where they were placed. And it was like, and I can see it as clearly as anything now, it's like the soul left my body through this experience, and there was just this whole cleansing of my body. And it was like, we need to cleanse the body, which is the vessel for the soul. And you need to have that strong, healthy, clean body. And then my soul was just kind of placed back in, like my soul had a bit of a zhuzhen up as well. And then it was placed back into the vessel, and it was just like this whole, this energetic reset, which, and it was that whole, when you're talking about mind, body, heart, soul, it was all this reconnection and recalibration. And this was a couple of years ago. And that would be in line with big other changes that I'm going through as well. But that movement, the body, the somatics, is hugely powerful. And we do say, you said at the beginning of the episode about, the nervous system being able to reset, and we hear a lot of that now.
We do.
A lot of, which is good. I think that's really great.
It is.
To be able to, I think a lot of people throw it out a bit randomly, but I think it's really good because that is all connected. It's not, we used to just talk about mindset, clear your mind and you're fine. And it's not, it's the whole connection.
And the nervous system, essentially, it's a sense of, it's your safety net.
Yes.
So if your nervous system doesn't feel safe, then coming into your body and being in your body is never going to feel comfortable. So the heart healing, reprogramming it at the root, again, is about reprogramming your nervous system so that you are your own safety.
Yes. And when you're your own safety, you can then hold space for other things in your life, whether that's a loving partner, a business, house,
so true.
Whatever. It's about when you feel safe, you can then hold space for all those things that you're wanting to attract. So it's all, true. we could like talk ever and ever and ever. Where can our guests find you?
So I'm Melissa Ohana. It's a public profile on Facebook, so you can just go in there and like and follow. On Instagram, it is Meet Melissa Ohana. So just pop in there. You can follow me there. And I have a website, melissaohana.com. And that's it. That's me. Easy peasy.
We'll put all those details into the show notes for everybody. What are you excited about coming up?
I'm excited about where my work is taking me into holding space for women to heal in a group.
Yeah, nice.
So, it's beyond sister circles. Sister circles is like the light version.
Yeah. So these are healing circles, aren't they, that you're running?
These, I'm calling them healing circles, because, when women gather and share vulnerably, and when we can do that after I've taken you very, very deep into yourself through movement and heart healing, we actually unlock wisdom in other women.
Yeah, absolutely.
From our DNA.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited now. I've got one coming up, which, will be past this podcast, but this is what I'll be moving into more often, is small circles for women, to where I hold space for them and guide them through into some really, really deep, deep love for themselves through movement and heart healing and sharing and being held. So this is where I'm going now, and it feels exciting.
That's awesome. Do you know what? I was talking with somebody the other day that it was a big group healing session. It was through breath work. And then at the end, there was some partner work that they did. And the friend told me, she said it was really, felt very vulnerable, very intimate. Yeah. And it was just like, yep. And she said it wasn't handled. It was just like, and then the end, we just left. Nobody knew. It's just like we'd experienced these really powerful things, and in this intimate space with somebody else. And then it was just like, okay, see you. And so I think, my shoulder was twitching around.
Yeah.
And it's about that holding of space, because people, when we're talking about safety, people need to feel safe in the environment to allow the healing to take place. And I think that needs to be, and I know that that's what you do. Really, is holding that space for the whole, person
circle. And there's heart healing is a trauma informed based therapy, and so in the training, which is very intense, there is a lot about that. So very safe practice I'm able to bring into that, and then opening the doors afterwards. I always open the door for people afterwards, that say, if something's come up for you, please reach out.
No, I think that safety in holding space, because the work you and I do is deep work. We're not just doing superficial, even with the sound stuff that I've just recently done.
Yeah.
There was a whole lot of stuff around that trauma informed. Sound can bring up.
It really does.
The frequency and the vibration, it can bring up a whole lot of stuff. And it's about how do you hold space for people?
It really is simplified. How do you hold space for this?
Oh my God. This has just been so cool. Well, your details are all in the show notes. Thank you everybody for listening. If you are interested in, I've got a little resource that I'm doing for people at the moment. It's called Whispers, Nudges and Goosebumps. And it's about how to access your intuition, just that kind of intro about just different ways that you can access intuition, because that self-discovery piece, it's where I'm kind of getting led is very much around that intuition, probably, where you've been some years ago.
Yes.
But that intuition and guidance, and how do you, what does spirituality mean for you as well? And that there's a lot of people that are dipping their toes in and they're just like, oh, I don't want to do there's so many, maybe we can do another chat about that at some stage.
I know. It's a big kettle.
It's a big kettle. So thank you so much for your time, and keep being fabulous, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Happy Go Fabulous. I hope you loved it. If you did, could I ask a big favour? Please subscribe, leave a review, and most importantly, share the love and let your besties know about the podcast. This will help get it into the hearts and ears of all the gorgeous souls who need a little bit of fabulous in their life. If you'd like some more high vibe happiness in your life, come and visit me on my Happiness Hive socials, and make sure you've signed up to my newsletter, your weekly drop of juicy goodness. Pop over to my Happiness Hive website and click on the link Working with Catherine. I'd love to help you make life amazing. Until next time, keep being fabulous.